Wow, wow, wow. What a weekend that just was. I'm still not over it. Wow. So, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would share my weekend with you guys of me at Silverstone. I didn't really vlog whilst I was there, but I of course took plenty of photo and plenty a video. And I thought I would share it with you guys here and now. Because I'm getting breaking news about the government right now. It's a way to end my 30th year of life. It was my birthday on Monday. I am now 31. My mum thought I was turning 30, which I thought was quite funny. I had such a chill birthday and I went to work, work from home, and I went over to my parents for a meal. I had a couple of presents, like that shelf right there, and like a Lego plant, and a mug, and a little pancake frying pan. That was my birthday. Anyway, before that, prior to that, I spent the last 3 days before my birthday at Silverstone at the Formula 1 Grand Prix, which has been on my bucket list for many a year. I live in Milton Keynes, so I live close to the Red Bull factory. When I was a child, I lived just outside of Milton Keynes, and in the summer, if you had the weather on a good day, you'd be able to hear the F1 cars going around the track from my childhood home. We would open the French doors and you'd be able to hear it, watch it on TV. It was just amazing. How did this come about? So I asked for tickets, like even for Christmas time, and my parents couldn't get any because they were sold out and they were too expensive anyway, I think, for all 6 of us to go. My brothers, my parents, and my brother's fiance. Yeah, it was just too hard for us all to go at once. So it just so happened, just so happens, I am part of like an online community on Twitch, and it's through Lando, but then it's also through Max Futrell, and then through Bankai, because Bankai knows Max and Lando through Twitch. There's a whole little community of us. Anyway, I met some lovely girls through there, and one of them just so happened to have a spare ticket, and I took it. I took the chance. I paid in full money, so I didn't actually get a discount or anything. I paid the money's worth for it, which was expensive, but very worth it. Let me tell you that right now. Very worth it. One of them is actually from the Netherlands, and one of them is from like up north. They were staying in Milton Keynes, so I was their taxi. It just worked out really well that, you know, I live 30 minutes away from the track, and it was just easier just to get a lift, but there and back by me. Parking was included, and it was just honestly great. It was just really great. We got on so well. It was like meeting friends that you've known for years. Like, we got on so well. There was no like anxiousness, no like weird vibes. We were just great, and we acted exactly how we do online. So, you know, there were no catfishes, which was amazing, because obviously you don't actually ever know truly until you meet them in person how they're actually going to be. But they were lovely, lovely girls. So yeah, we spent the whole weekend together. I couldn't go on the Thursday because I had to work, but you were able to go on Thursday. We managed to go for practice 1 and practice 2. Again, the days weren't too bad actually. I thought we'd have to wake up super early, like 6 or 7 a.m. But I actually woke up like a normal time, went there for like 9 o'clock, and it was easy as pie, really. The queues weren't too bad, but I guess that's because I'm a local, so I don't have to go on the main big roads where the traffic would have probably been the worst. The queues were not too bad actually, so yeah, really, really fortunate that I live so local that I could miss all of that. So yeah, the parking was at the track. So on day one, what did we do? So on Friday, we kind of just walked around a little bit. They had obviously been there on the Thursday, so they kind of knew their way a little bit. So I'd only been there on the Friday. So this was my first time. This was my first time, like, witnessing it all happening. So we were near the entertainment section, I think, and we watched some of the Formula 2 drive past, which was like my first taste of seeing these sort of cars in action, which was amazing. We kind of just like chilled, and then we went to Village A or Village B, one of the ones, and we watched practice one, and I think it was a practice one where they didn't have as much running because it started to rain. It was pretty awful actually. I think they all spent like 30 minutes not racing. But anyway, I'm going to insert some clips now if I haven't been already.
Nothing like a smile in the morning, following the linings on your cheeks. 'Cause baby, in your absence life is boring.
So that was my first taste of cars being super close, super loud. Seeing them kind of not really on the push laps because it's practice one, and they don't tend to do like long runnings or like fast runnings as much. But they do push laps, but I don't know, I think they were like slow corners, so you couldn't really see them go fast. But it was an experience, let me tell you that right now. It was a very good experience. So this was just after the first corner. So where we sat for the race, actually, we could see this corner from where we sat. So it was kind of cool to see like the differences and like, oh, you know when they're starting a lap and they're going to be like soon next to you. So a lot of them, we noticed, were like going off the track like right in front of us, and we're like, oh, they must have like ruined their first corners or something because they were just not doing very well there. We did not have any spins in front of us, but we did have like a near touch, I guess, in one of the practice sessions. I'm not too sure which. But anyway, that was great. So then we had that, and then after that we went and had some lunch because I don't think we were very interested in watching like the other series. Not really. So, and there wasn't really much going on, I don't think. I think it was just like the entertainment stage stuff was happening at that point. So then we went and had lunch. What did I have? I had pizza. And then after that we went to, where did we go? Luffield, I think that's the stand, and we watched practice 2 where there's a hairpin, and that was quite exciting because they were actually all driving a lot more because the weather had cleared up at this point. It was sunny. It was actually quite nice and warm. And then what did we do? Did we hang around afterwards? What did we do? I swear we must have gone to Woodcote at that point. I think we went up the grandstand to watch some of the F2. I don't really watch the F2, so I don't really know much about it. Then next was we went home. So we just kind of didn't overdo it. We went home, didn't really stay around for like the entertainment in the evenings. Then on Saturday, in the morning, one of our group, Ashley, went and met her other friends who were also there. So she had inner track tickets, so she could go and do that, whereas we didn't. So myself and Kat, we went to watch for the practice 3 back in Village again, and it was Saturday. It was really windy. It was actually quite cold. Yes, it was quite cold. We were back in Village again, and we watched FP3 there. And then we went back up again later on that day for quali, and yeah, we watched quali from that section 2 just because we wanted to be near to the fan zone, and that was the nearest grandstand to the fan zone area. So we watched all of quali. And that was very exciting. I was super buzzing for Carlos. I'm still very, very confused. I haven't managed to watch it back yet. How did Latifi get P10? I don't get it. I don't know how he came 10th. I'm still very confused by it. We went to the fan zone, to the F1 fan zone area, and was it even earlier than that day actually? I think it was at lunchtime before quali. We actually met Matty, WTF1. Matty from that team. He was in the fan zone area. We saw him, we said hi, and then we left. So the real reason why I wanted to go to fan zone after quali is because Quadrant were there, who are Lando's company, esports influencers, merch company. And they had a couple of rounds playing the Formula 1 race game with some of like the general public, and then they did a meet and greet. I did not go into this weekend thinking I was going to meet them, but I did. Anyway, so I met them, and Niran and Steve are so tall. I'm 4'10", and they are super tall. Even Hiya is a little bit taller than me. But anyway, here's some pictures of that. I think my friend also took a video of me meeting them all too.
Since life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love when it's you.
Take a picture.
You just doing it all?
I will. And if someone else can make a picture of me, that would be. Huh? I love how small she is.
So, yeah, so I told Max, I don't know if it's in the video or not, I've not actually watched it back yet, but I know Max the most out of Quadrant because he plays quite regularly with Bankai, and I am a mod for Bankai on Twitch. And so I knew him, and I was like, I know you. I am one of Bankai's mods. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, which one? I was like, oh, I'm Katie Marsh. Nice to meet you. Anyway, yeah, that was quite a cool little tidbit that I had to mention to him. But I got them to sign my hoodie. Oh, yes. There we go. I got them to sign my hoodie so I can no longer wear this top out and about because it's now got Quadrant's signatures on it. So we have got, I think, we've got Hiya, FIFA, I think that's Araba's, I think that's Max's, and that is one of them's Niran's, one of them's Steve's. I can't remember which one it is now, but yeah, it was so nice to meet them. They're such a lovely group of people. They are so kind. And like, you know when you meet people who you follow online for years, or like a couple of years, you see them in person and like, oh my god, they're an actual real person. It was such a surreal moment for me. I was like, I can't believe that actually happened. I can't believe I met them. Anyway, I look so short next to them. Coupled up with my massive bag. I look tiny. We were just like meandering our way back. I think we were probably thinking about leaving. And then at that moment, Daniel, Ricciardo and Lando came out on stage. So we tried to see it a little bit.
This is good. How long has everyone been here? Long time?
And then I think after that, we went and got some merch. I bought a lot of merch this weekend, not gonna lie. My bank account is screaming, but that's okay. It's a once in a year thing. So then Sunday, I guess, because after that we went home. So then Sunday was probably the busiest day, but there was less to see. So the traffic was slower there and back, but we were only there for the Formula 1. We didn't watch any of the other support races. In the morning, I think we went through to like merch stores, had a look around there to see what was up. I think I bought a Mercedes hat. Oh, you can see it on the corner of my screen actually. There's my Mercedes cap because I didn't mention, well, you would have seen it anyway. It was flipping wet during quali, and I went on Sunday thinking, oh, I'll be wet again because it has been wet and cold the last couple of days. It ended up being like the warmest day of the whole weekend. I needed a cap to help me out right then. It was actually really funny on Sunday. So one of the points just before the race began, you know, we do our last minute, need to go for a wee, and to the nearest toilets to our stand, which was the T1 enclosure grandstand, was actually outside of the track, so we had to leave and then come back in. So I had to have my bag searched, and at that point the security asked me if I wanted Hamilton to win. Now Hamilton's not really my favourite, and I got the Merc cap for George. More importantly, I also got a George hoodie as well. So I said I think Carlos is going to win, and I think a Red Bull's going to come second, and I think Hamilton's going to come third. If you guys know the result, you know the result. So, going on to the race. So, we were sat in our seats quite early on because we wanted to capture Seb going around in his Williams car. He basically owns Nigel Mansell's Williams F1 car. He bought it in auction a few years ago. Anyway, he had his chance to drive around it, do a couple of hot laps, and we were there to witness it. And oh, I love it so much. He's my favourite, if you guys don't know. At that same point, we managed to see Martin, Damon, why do I always forget his name? Stephen Lazenby, is that his name, Steve? The other presenter, and Jenson Button, who is my second favourite driver. I managed to see them. They were going on the drivers' parade. The drivers' parade was very interesting. With them in the old cars. I don't know if it will pick up in the videos or not, but Daniel wearing like an old school helmet was quite lol, not gonna lie. And then the race. Oh, the race. Guys. Okay, so I had front row seats literally to the first corner, first straight, first 5 seconds of the race. It happened right in front of me. I've got it on video. I'm going to share it now. If you guys don't want to see it, skip 15 or 16 seconds ahead and you'll miss the whole crash. I'll put down the time where I stopped talking about the crash as well. It just as if it's a trigger warning, I'll put that down on the screen here so you guys can skip as well. So yeah, that was huge. So I was essentially, well, so you know like how you do. So the cars were coming down the straight, so I was filming them at the front. So I followed the cars that were at the front and moved around to watch them. And then I just suddenly heard the crowd like change reaction. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw sparks. And then I looked at my screen and I saw, oh my god, there's a car flipped upside down. I looked up and saw it in real time. And I was like, oh my god, that is an Alfa Romeo. Who is it? Is it Bottas? Is it Zhou Guanyu? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. And then I was just like in a state of shock, having just witnessed that. Like, we didn't know at the track for ages if he was okay. I'm also not too sure how Alex took part in it, because he was not right next to them. So I'm still confused about that, but he had his own little crash as well. I think he apparently has like a bad back or something, because he must have hit the wall pretty fast when he spun as well. But yeah, poor George, like his car was fine, but he, because he got out and went to check on Joe, couldn't restart. I think his car couldn't turn on or something, and he was struggling, so there's that. The way that the car flipped and then hit the barrier and then flipped and flung to the fence and then got wedged inside between the fence and the barrier, like that halo saved that man's life. And the fact that like, after the race, we walked straight out of the stands and on the big screens was him actually talking to like someone perfectly fine. Like, looks like he got away from it completely unscathed. It is flipping incredible. Like, safety is phenomenal how far it's come over the last several years. The halo is honestly a godsend. Without that, and without the roll bar, I think, as well, that could have been a complete different story. And yeah, it took them a while to restart, not only because of the accident, but there were protesters on the track as well, which I think they were going to do it anyway. So if the race had continued, I think something else could have gone really, really wrong there as well, because there were protesters on the track who had invaded, which was pretty bad. There was like a high presence of army and police the entire weekend, yet they still protested and ended up on the track at some point. So then the race restarted, and thankfully No crashes happened. There were some touches and some spins, but overall it was not too bad. The race was actually quite exciting. Like the battle between like Perez, Charles and Hamilton, that was pretty exciting. I'm very happy for Lando. He came P6 and he stayed in the same position the entire race, which is probably quite lowly for him, but still good points. It's honestly insane how fast these cars go. You do not realise it when you're watching on TV until you're in person, in perspective. They zoom so fast, it's actually ridiculous. Like very, very, like stupidly ridiculous how fast they go. And I'm just over the moon that I managed to witness it in real life. What happened after the race? Oh yes, so my prediction came true. We had Carlos win, we had Perez second, and we had Hamilton come third. The roar when Hamilton got onto the podium, like in the race, was massive. Like, it was so loud. Obviously it was his home race, so it was going pretty loud. But there I was, like, I wanted Carlos to win, so I was like, I don't care about Hamilton. I wanted Carlos to get his maiden win. And he got it. And I had to get this, or wear this today in absolute pride that he won his maiden win. And I was there to witness it. And not only that, Mick getting points. I'm still over the moon about that as well. So it was such a good time. So then, after the race, we went onto the track. And not only did we go on the track, we went to the pits, like, wall area, and saw some of the drivers. We saw Charles, we saw Carlos, we saw Lando, we saw Hamilton, we saw Sebastian Vettel, and we saw the Sky TV crew again. We saw Damon, we saw Ted Kravitz, we saw Nasty Pinkham. Yeah, we saw all. And that was all because we stayed on track. We wanted to have Lando come out to hit outside his garage, but he didn't, which is a little bit upsetting. So we stood there for like 3 hours after the race. I picked up some rubber from the track as a memorial, memorabilia of it. Why not? Yeah, all in all, it was a really great experience. 100% want to do it again, and 100% want to do it again next year. It's always my birthday weekend, so I'm like, if I can just celebrate every birthday going to the F1, I would do it. Definitely. Like, people go to like the Royal Ascot every year. I want to go to Silverstone to the Formula 1 every year. Gotta save up a lot of money for it though. But yeah, it was such a great weekend. I'm gonna leave my excitement here. I hope you guys enjoyed my little roundup of what happened. And I shall bid you a goodbye and back to like my normal videos on Sunday. Bye!
You by my side, shining through the cracks like the first morning light.